Damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Hey, good show, everybody.
Man, what a show, huh?
Holy cow, no
Good
Yes
show.
Man this week, huh?
Yes Man's on vacation?
Well, I think Yes Man has a friend sleeping in his bed right now.
Oh, that's fine. Yes, man. It sounded like you had a little something in your throat there for a second. You did? Are you feeling a bit under the weather?
Is it the allergies? Is it the allergies? Supposedly there's a big allergy storm in
Personally,
California.
Got it. So what is it you're allergic to? Is it pollen?
Yes.
Okay. Is it pine trees?
Yes.
Is it criticism from your peers?
Yes.
Well, it's good to see you, and you are well loved, my friend. End of segment!
Oh, good show.
Using this mic. Normally I have to like scramble for the other mic.
By the way, we mentioned it on the show, but we got a huge lineup coming up in the next few weeks. Curly and Kaz from DKG on next week. Cargill for our first bank episode. Martin and Corey from Double Toasted, our other bank episode. And Tomcat's back on the menu, fellas.
Heyo.
Coming on the first week.
Oh,
of
hell
June.
yeah.
So-
And by the way, I'm so pumped next week that we get Curly and Kaz, the
That's-
DKG boys.
That should be a great show.
It's going to be good.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
They are awesome, and you have no idea how much, how many people are like constantly punching Curly to like bring his unique brand of curliness like onto this show. Like his community is something that very much was born out of the explosion of our community. It has always been tied to our community, and the fact that they have not been on the show is insane, and I'm so excited to rectify that next week.
Sweet. It's going to be great. All right, let's take a look at a Night Detective Show about TV for a title for the episode that we just recorded.
By the way, for the record, Bryce, that was a great game.
I'm glad.
It was a really
I was
good
very
game.
afraid of it being very easy.
I was so
really
fucking
enjoyed it.
pissed that there was some that like I knew that you didn't use.
I have
Like,
more.
there's one
I
that
have
was
more here. We can
trees.
play
Hey,
more
Brian,
after.
you know trees?
Trees?
I don't remember trees. On the
Trees.
list.
Yeah, the trees
Well,
hate
I'm gonna-
you.
I'm
They're
gonna
fucking your
treat
nose.
This guy.
They're jizzing up your nostrils.
You're gonna trees.
Did you
this
use
guy?
trees as a verb?
Yeah.
I know trees is in,
the
like-
trees hate
Yeah.
you.
No. Yeah, trees is a verb.
It's like I know trees is in like
Oh.
slang for weed.
Yeah, I
but
know it as a weed slang.
Nope.
That's a weed slang.
I'm sorry, Grandpa.
You kids in your marijuana.
Trees. Trees as a modern slang?
Yeah.
Treason?
Not treason. Powdered wig, motherfucker.
Is it tree season? Code for treason?
I keep thinking like bees in the trap, but that's not a thing. That's just a sound alike.
Trees nuts?
Trees. Yeah, I don't know. What is trees?
Trees is to beat the limbs off someone. I'm
Wow.
gonna trees them.
I see.
Why would you do the
This is
plural?
our
Wouldn't you say
future?
tree them? Like just chop, 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 chop?
This is
I
our
don't
future.
make the rules. I just know a principal of a middle school.
Is it a middle school in South Florida?
What about the? I've got some more here. What about what about Schlitty? Do you guys know Schlitty?
Oh my God, Schlitty! Are you kidding me? Justin and I just the other day we were talking about how our
How
grandparents.
I'm too slitty to drive from backspin.
Jesus Christ! I'm glad you made it home safely. That was a good time. Schlitty. Oh, you're gonna get Schlitty.
Yes, lady.
Take a schlit on the floor. Take off your pants and your panties.
That's all right.
Yes, lady.
Schlitty is a 1920s thing. What it meant was woke.
It meant woke
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
You were woke. As in, understood as appropriate in 2019. That's what slitty meant.
Yep.
In 1920.
Yep.
Schlitty is a 2019 term meaning a good time.
Why?
So how I felt while I was driving back from Backspin.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
This is a lot of public admissions of...
Well, no, we've made it when the cops are listening to the show to set up a sting.
Yeah, eventually this show becomes...
Fuckers, I'm out of town.
It becomes like a Little John concert where the police are waiting for you at the venue.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was smoking weed too.
What about Brian? Do you know? I'm sure Justin, you know this one. Brian, you know finesse?
Finesse.
Aaron, do you know this one? Finesse. Finesse, a modern term. What does it mean to finesse?
To finesse or to finesse?
Finesse.
I would imagine finesse means like to carefully maneuver your way through a situation. You're going to finesse.
Manipulate it is. It's a situational thing. Yeah. It's not just maneuver.
Situational thing?
It means a variety of things
It's a thing
depending
that
on the
happens
context
at a place.
and history.
It's a thing at a place. You know that thing.
It's to tell a good story about how it actually happened. You know, there's the
God
truth.
damn it! No,
There's the
no.
truth, and then there's
You should have shut up because you had it. It was to manipulate, to like rip somebody off. In fact, you are in the corporate finessing business.
That's right.
Let's not.
Otherwise known to steal. Finesse to steal. Here's an easy one, Brian. You can get this one.
Sure.
The game, and not the early 2000s. The game.
Right. Not the movie with Michael Douglas.
It's time to play the game.
Well, no, I mean the game that we all lost.
But it's also I'm gonna guess it also does not mean the the general ability to pick up the pickup artist game.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it is not a Pua thing.
The game, and it's not the game where just being reminded of the game causes you to lose the game.
Right. Yeah, I mentioned that.
It's not Hunter Hearst Helmsley, aka the game.
No. I'm gonna say no.
Oh, I thought this would be easier. You're gonna say no.
Yeah. How about that?
Jerry, you know the game.
The game?
Yeah.
Oh, like the game, like.
I just lost.
No.
I'm sorry, I lost.
Somebody
I just
just
want to let
dialed
everybody
in.
know right now I lost the game.
That's fine.
No, the game, aka life. Playing that game, baby.
No, the game of love. Sure.
The
Yeah.
game of life, like
Life.
That's it, man. Come on.
little
What
car
are you trying
around
to
the
pull
board.
here?
Yeah.
Get
Right?
married,
Use
have
some
babies.
modern
life.
shit, right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Darren Kitchen.
Thank you for
Huzzah!
coming, Darren.
If you the way that my people say goodbye, which is toodles.
Toodles.
You're in
That
a
is
white
a
card on that
1920s
one.
slang.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I'm glad this game was good. I was because I was looking at this and I was like, because the Google Doc or the PDF that they passed around that the teacher actually made was a lot of like seemed obvious, like paper or bread, right? You like bread.
Wait, sorry. Paper is what? Money?
Paper is money.
Yeah.
What is bread?
Also money.
Paper is future money. Paper is money on the way in. Let's go get that bread.
Yeah. What about the bag? Do you know what the bag is?
I know the Austin Powers bag.
In what context?
If I were to ask you, Brian, did you secure the bag?
I mean, the place where my drugs are?
The objective, the goal.
No,
The
no,
football?
come on. Like we're not talking about drugs, Brian. We're talking about, your life. Like, did you secure the bag?
Man, I have no idea. Secure the bag?
Brian. We had a conversation today on the phone about you securing the bag.
Man, I got nothing.
I don't
I'm
know.
So sorry.
We must be talking about different lists because the bag is not on this list that I have.
Oh, no. This is just a modern
I see.
phrase that I'm sure Brian doesn't know. But wait, Bryce, you don't know what the bag is?
Unless you're
I
talking
mean,
about
it's
my
not
nuts.
your balls, right?
Unless you're talking about my nuts.
Wow.
Mitzi, do you know?
I've got no clue.
So when we were talking about all the new ads that are coming to the channel, that would be you securing the bag. You are taking a sum of money and you are making a deal and securing that for yourself. You are making the deal for the money. You are securing
it
the bag.
happen. I
So
see.
imagine that the bag is the money at the
You're
end
making
of
the
deal.
bread. You're turning the bread into paper.
Actually, I'm turning the paper into bread by way of securing the bag.
If you
Well,
secure the bag, your bread will become paper that you can then put in the bag.
No, no,
Because you turn
your
the paper into
becomes
bacon.
bread.
The paper
No, your
becomes
bread
bacon,
becomes
and you take the
paper.
bacon
No,
back.
no,
to
Well,
the-
no,
no,
I
no.
thought paper was
Mitzi,
future money.
No, bread is
Mitzi,
future money.
Mitzi. The bread is in the bag before you secure it. Once it's secured, it becomes paper.
Solve
right.
for X.
That's the transitive
That's right.
property of the bag.
The bag is that which makes bread into paper.
All right.
I saw
How? Oh, no, go
I
ahead.
saw Lance Burton open with bread to paper. It was amazing.
All right. how
I
about-
saw Lance Burton eulogize Johnny Thompson.
Ooh,
Jesus Christ.
It's quite literally the second time I've ever seen him. Third time. I'd ever seen him.
I saw his show right before it closed, and he opened with candlesticks, and I was just like, wow, that is a very old routine, but holy crap, that is the best you are ever going to see candlesticks done.
He's great, man.
Hey, by the way, not impossible. Lance Burton on this show.
Oh my God. Can we make that?
I'm sure if we made an ask, there's enough intermediaries that could vouch that we could make Lance Burton on this show happen. We could be the #1 magic podcast. On
I
the
mean,
internet.
first of all, we already are the #1 magic.
Please send in more
I mean,
magic
we
questions.
didn't have a
please.
magic question.
Yeah, it's
Please
up to
send
you
it-
guys. It's up to you guys. Mail at nightattack.tv. Ask us magic questions.
Are you accepting both Magic Tada and Magic the Gathering questions?
We'll
No.
try.
Just the Tada.
I don't know if you noticed the whole sports segment that we did. We'll try, baby. We'll try. What was funny to me about this list that he put together, it was stuff I didn't know, stuff I did know, but the one that really surprised me is that Nunya is on this list. It's crazy to me that Nunya persists.
Wait, that's from like 20 years ago,
I
right?
know. Nunya business.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still, as it turns out, none your business.
All right, let's take a look at some show titles over at nightattack.showbot.tv, including our top one.
I do like
Where's
an
my bad one?
overprivileged sailor.
An overprivileged sailor is very good. That's cracky.
Why did I lick it?
The Rusty Handsaw. The Rusty Handsaw's pretty good. Ooh.
Rusty Handsaw is good.
Let's
Rusty
see.
Handsaw is my tribute band.
I
My
got you
tool
breakfast
tribute band.
tacos. This man's not yoked. I am embarrassed. Racial Sudoku. Let's see.
Icarus looking hot wings.
Wingazi. Okay.
Wingazi! Try
a
hard
second
with
joke.
a vengeance.
That was a Darren line. That was great.
Fuck you, 15-year-olds is pretty good. Eggs were around in the 20s.
I see a little silhouette of a chooch.
Engage the murder drive. J-Oak. It'll be fine. Click. Oh, damn, your face is on fire.
That's actually true.
This Dick Cheney looking motherfucker.
Broville units. Instead of
That's great.
he's into swing dancing and I'm into rap music.
That's true.
That's pretty good.
He's a little bit swing dance. I'm a little bit rap music.
Why did Open Bayou submit Brian Ruins a quiz?
I don't know.
I think early on I was running away with it, and then you chimed in.
Oh, yeah, because you guys were very good.
Until we weren't.
But then they were very bad. We won.
All right, let's take a look at the top voted ones. An overprivileged sailor is pretty good.
It's a very fun. It doesn't give away anything too badly, and
It's also a very funny phrase. Like, there's very little that you're going to not like after somebody says an overprivileged sailor.
Plus, in about a year, it'll make a good. Was this a night attack or a ice cream social title?
I mean, those are indistinguishable.
It will be impossible to play that game.
Yeah, that is a random number generator.
What do you feel, Brian? You feel like overprivileged sailor?
Yeah, indeed I do.
All right. There we go. Thank you
I
to
can't
Obabayo.
decide if I love his silliness or his overprivilegedness.
No, the world will never know. Thank you to Obabayo and everyone who submitted show titles using the Bang Us command in the chat room. I'm going to write an email.
Hells yeah.
So, Jerry, you missed the inaugural compound cigar today. I made a delivery.
Dude, this motherfucker showed up with
showed
a
up
humidor.
I showed up with a second box.
And, like,
my checked luggage was a humidor, 40 sticks, some utensils. All three of us now own Alec Bradley burners. So
wait a minute. You donated a humidor to the compound, or you brought humidor to the compound?
The compound now has a humidor
filled with 40
filled
sticks.
with cigars. They have a really baller set of cigar snips, as well as another scissors and some cutters, and they have that Alec Bradley burner that I gave you.
Yep.
They have one of those as well now.
Holy
Dude,
shit!
It's awesome.
So yeah, I delivered. I brought it.
I mean, again, there's going to be a reason why at some point I'll be very pumped to tell everyone I know that I was, the first person to regularly stay at the compound.
I'm just hoping I checked the box for the Get Jay breakfast tacos.
I can arrange this. I
Brian's
can make
out.
some
That can be
calls.
arranged.
Get ready for the door to get kicked
a very
open.
Quick text.
Except for the 7:30 in the morning part, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It is on the two things I'm allowed to eat while I'm in Austin. It's breakfast tacos and barbecue.
Man, that pond is.
I will say the tacos he got was from apparently it was a truck outside of a Valero in the neighborhood.
Yeah, just north of the place. Yeah.
So yeah, as Brian was saying, the pond is ridiculous right now.
Oh God, yeah. I mean that's my favorite place in the compound. If I'm to tell a family secret, like it's super dope. I can't wait, man.
I'm just envisioning a rocking chair on the deck, on the dock in the pond, watching the fireflies while smoking a cigar.
Yeah, dude. Fireflies are all over the place now. They're no longer just down by the pond. We did have a storm, so it blew over all of the fence.
Did you see the other side also fell down partially?
Yep.
So now the murderers have easier access. Great.
Yeah.
Well, and so I called the insurance folks in there and stop me if you've heard this before. Turns out my deductible exactly the expected amount of fixing the fence. They know what they're doing.
Should have charged him for a septic system.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, all of a sudden there's a septic system here. I demand you pay for that.
Get rid of it.
Wait a minute. Is the septic working now?
Yeah, they are cautious on encouraging us to use it because...
Does it need time for the bacteria to settle or something?
So I believe the way it's supposed to work is all the poop goes down into the tank and then it sits in there with the yeast or whatever that filters it or whatever.
Right.
And then the clean water is pumped out. So it's like right now we don't have electricity down there, so there's nothing to pump it out.
Ew.
However, I'm imagining it'll take a lot of poops to fill that thing all the way out.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So between you, me, and the wall, I may have already started using the toilet effectively.
Instead of the porta-potty outside.
Yeah, which, by the way, you got the concierge version of.
I did. So while I was eating breakfast tacos with Jay, epilogue to this horror story, I'm eating breakfast tacos with Jay, and then all of a sudden, rumbling on in is the porta-potty cleaner, and he's very nice, and he gives us a big hearty wave, as he sucks out the shit from the porta potty
And the $100 bills.
and the $100 bills, and then gives us another gigantic friendly wave and gets back in his truck and rolls on out. I was like, "Oh, look, it's a freshly laundered shitter." And Jay laughed, and then I went and took a poop in the porta potty,
Nailed it.
Goodness.
Got him.
not knowing that I could have taken a shit inside. The real joke was on me.
Hey, did you guys see this? One PD Rave got a Diamond Club tattoo at DKG Vegas.
Hells yeah!
Yeah, the,
I had not seen it. I knew he was gonna do it, but I
Dude,
had
that's
not seen it.
fantastic.
I believe the Gen got one as well.
Oh wow.
They
On his wrist too.
the
That's brave.
DKG crew kind of as I told Bryce, the DKG crew did to TMS Vegas what we did to Nerdtacular. They just kind of said, it's ours now. We're just going to have all our own stuff around it, and we'll go to the other stuff that we feel like it.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were doing like their own little Vegas get-togethers, and it just made more sense for it to be, well, Frog Pants people were also in town.
Man.
Yeah.
And
No,
he's even
they
got the
were,
Possum Posse shirt. Hey, check out the Possum Posse. Check that out. That's great.
And also, it's just such a rad thing to do. It's so inside to do it on the wrist because you know you have to flip it for.
You're only going to show it when you're doing the diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I don't want to. I've never gotten a tattoo, and I'm.
To get it right on your face.
I mean, do we have to do that, Justin?
I think I Post Malone. We have to get every funny
face.
thing we've ever said all
yeah.
over our face.
poop, get 69.
Yeah.
Diamonds,
get PP.
diamonds down your face.
Just as Ira Sockman
Yeah,
was
yeah,
here.
yeah. Pretend I'm not here in like English script.
I love laser discs.
Yeah.
Get hot, yeah, and Sharpie.
Yeah.
So you can keep
Hashtag
reapplying
hot
it every
yeah.
day.
Like, yeah. Actually, I'll just shave my eyebrow and just have hot yeah over where the eyebrows supposed to be.
On one eyebrow, spam equals rapist.
Yeah, and then I'll have equals the unibrow,
unibrow
in
is
the
gonna be
middle.
On your arms, it says click and clack.
Yeah,
Not the fists.
No. Like on your arm, it just says click
Yeah.
and then clack.
just on the side of the arms there.
What would you get on your knuckles? What would you get for knuckle tats?
No, that is HEYBOS.
HEY comma.
Just walk up and, hey, boss.
That's good.
Oh,
Oh shit. Oh my god.
pretty good.
I want
So yeah, that'll all happen.
we need to get the Sasha Banks boss mode knuckle things they sell and get the boss one and make a hey one for you. So you just have hey boss.
Exactly. Yeah, just like a hey boss, like fucking big 4 knuckle ring, like situation. So you can just walk up to every Hertz counter and just fucking hit them. Boom, hey boss.
God damn.
Shit,
yeah.
man. What's going on?
Do you guys want to watch a video?
Yeah.
Watch a video.
So this was posted in the very funny and pre-show channel of the Discord, nightattack.tv/Discord to post this stuff. You may have seen that this happened, but I saw that this video was posted, but I did not see this video because here we go.
Wait a minute, is it the? Oh no, it's not. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark, grandma shark, grandma shark, grandma shark,
It's the new 99 bottles of beer on a wall, I tell you.
Spin Dash 12 in the chat says they sound broken, their hearts destroyed, nothing left, empty husks walking.
What's this?
He said Seinfeld last. He said MCNs.
He's a big YouTuber.
Yeah. He's against multi-channel networks.
him.
Yeah.
MCNs do boo 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 boo.
AdSense
MCNs,
Rev.
don't.
Subscribe from T-Series.
Subscribe to PewDiePie. Do. Ah, Christ.
I just finally got that out of my head from the NHL playoffs, and now it's back.
They played it at the NHL playoffs?
Yeah, they played it every time Evander Kane did something because he was a whiny little bitch.
Oh.
So every
he
time
was-
he did anything, they played Baby Shark.
Oh. I thought he was colloquially known as the Shark.
Well, they were the San Jose Sharks, so
Oh.
he plays for that team.
So he
That's very
was
clever,
the
actually.
baby shark.
And then he called. You said that Revo punched like the gingerbread man, so they play or the Muffin Man. So they played a hip hop cover of "Do You Know the Muffin Man" every time Revo did something.
Sounds
Hockey.
legit.
And then they lost
Hockey.
in Game 7.
Hockey.
Hashtag not a major. Yay, sports ball.
Hey, did anybody check out the masterclass with Penn Teller?
I haven't.
I have not.
I saw the trailer for it, but I haven't plunked down the money for it because
Have you?
cheap bastard.
I have not. Bonnie's got a subscription, so I should probably dive in and check that out.
I just figured if I listen to Abracababble enough, Matt will eventually tell me everything on it. So
It's a little bit weird because I don't know how to feel. I mean, on the one hand, I mean, you're not going to find a bigger fan of Penn Teller than me. But on the other hand, teaching magic on the internet is kind of a thing I do, and I don't know how to feel about watching it because I don't know if I want to find myself in a position of judging my heroes doing something that I've made a career doing.
When it starts off with Penn Jillette telling you how to score a drink at the bar, you're going to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, I guess that's kind of what I'm afraid of.
I mean, I guess that there's two vectors that you would feel infringed on. Either A, that they are doing a thing that you already do for money, right?
Well, and it's
that would like take away from a thing that you are doing currently, or that you are judging them on form and factor that you should have done this different, you should have done this better. And then if I'm going to take that one step further, maybe you should have talked to the guy who does this for a living if you were going to teach magic on the internet for a living.
All of which is to say, like, it's, for me, emotionally speaking, it's lose-lose. Either I see my heroes do something and I disapprove of the way they did it, in which case I feel bad, or I see them do it so well that I just want to give up at the thing that I do, in which case I feel bad. So I find myself in that weird situation. Although on the most recent Penn Sunday School, you get to hear Matt Donnelly in great detail, along with Piff, talk about what it's like to be eviscerated by Penn Teller, having done all of that.
I mean, I if I were to guess, I would guess that you are at a level of magic teaching on the internet that nobody has ever seen. In fact, you are Galactus, eater of worlds, when it comes to teaching magic on the internet. A few people have touched the level that you have done it, and those who have come close to how long they've done it have not had your morals or ethics or standing. Like, they are known in the YouTube community, they are not known outside because you have made a deliberate effort to keep your reputation, and you have done that well. You will probably watch that masterclass, if you ever do, and say, oh my God, this is what it would be like if I were Penn Teller and had Penn Teller's very specific skill sets. Like, I know I'm not Penn Teller. I'm Brian Brushwood. I've made a career being Brian Brushwood. These guys are teaching their own tricks that they have done a million times, that I've seen a million times, that I've diagnosed a million times, and they're doing it with the kind of wit and charm that you would expect from true professionals and great people like Penn Teller.
Yes.
That would be my expectation.
It was still weird when they tweeted out the preview, and like I watched it when Penn sent it out, and I was watching it, and it was like they're talking, and then all of a sudden it cuts to Teller, who's still in full Penn and Teller suit, and he starts talking. And I'm like, I've been in the room I've been lucky enough to be in the same room with Teller talking about just random stuff. Like I've had conversations with him, but him in the suit talking was just you're just like, wait, that's not allowed. Like it was like the one sanctity. You're like, whoa! It just blew me. I was just like, that's crazy. That's just you don't put those. Like I've never seen him in the suit other than like after the show when he's just like, yeah, thanks. You know, it's been great. Little small handshake conversation. But to have him like go into full dialogue while wearing the suit was just weird.
Yeah, I guess I spent more time with Teller with him talking than not talking, so that's a little bit difficult for me to process the same way. But that is interesting that it was a character breaking moment for you.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. Can we see the trailer for the masterclass thing, and just so people can get a sense of what we're talking about?
Sure, give me a minute.
Yeah, I didn't see Donnelly on there. I don't think in the trailer, but
No, so I guess like that is like the two levels is them teaching it to Donnelly, and then I guess they teach a trick to Piff.
I think there's 3 levels. I think there's somebody else too.
Misdirection. And no matter what level you are at magic, we got stuff here for you. Learning basic principles of magic, like learning chords on a guitar. Once you know a few simple principles, you can build your whole magic routine. And if you're smart enough to work silently, it brings out a huge amount of wonder.
When you don't talk, the audience has to tell itself the story, and they don't know where it's going.
Wow.
The basic method behind this uses sound misdirection.
Yeah.
Palming is when you hide something in your hand, you're going to bring your whole hand around and conceal that ball and completely close your fist. And that will make all your relatives laugh.
The simplest trick you can do involves exploring how do we know what is true.
Take those two ends and tie them in a double knot around each other. Yeah, I'll see you later.
There's more magic in cards than anything else. You don't need to know the card. You just have to need to know the card next to the card.
Was that your card?
Yes.
If you get good at magic, you will automatically get good at a certain kind of acting.
Magic forces you to learn about storytelling, assumptions, about the way we perceive the world.
And then smash it. That's it.
You must be empathetic. You must try to see yourself through another person's eyes. And I think you have to simply say that one of the things that makes life worth living is giving other people joy. We're Penn and Teller, and this is our masterclass.
Well, the good news is I've got 20 years to get to that level of recognition. Because it looks like they're teaching an awful lot of the same stuff that we do on Scam Nation.
I mean, wait, hold on. What's the view count on that video?
I don't know. I mean, it's behind the curtain of
Oh,
Masterclass.
no, hold on, wait a minute. To get to that, I mean, like, I don't know.
I mean,
how many
it
videos
only came out
on
20
Scam
minutes
Nation?
ago. It's at 130,000.
I mean, how many? I mean,
a week ago.
8 days ago.
You have a lot of videos that are at that.
It's a week
level
ago.
of-
Let's see what is last week's
Look,
Nation at.
we're not comparing anything.
Yeah,
It's
let's
fine.
I
not
mean,
stop.
like, except for the fact that you literally just compared yourself.
I would also
Oh no! I mean, I said I got 20 years to.
I would also like to point out
catch
that-
up to that level of recognition.
Bryce had the same reaction when Teller started talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
as you.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
That
so
is-
like out of character for that person you've seen.
Oh no! That is something that I think there are certain contradictions to. I think the magic or the act of Penn and Teller, and then Penn and Teller as humans, and one of them is that they literally have set up this very rigid universe wherein Penn talks and Teller does not, and then you meet Penn and Teller is one of the most eloquent, amazing, thoughtful intellectuals that you will ever meet, and they are allowed to have lives and personalities outside of their act, but that is a contradiction. There is no doubt about it. And it's literally the first thing that people react to whenever he speaks in public. And hell, at that fucking Johnny Thompson memorial, without getting too far into it, there's a moment at the end, and this is a room full of magicians, right? Like people who are inside this industry that know Johnny Thompson, like they are connected to it. This is a who's who. And Penn is so choked up he can't talk about it. And he says, all right, well, let me toss it to Teller, who's going to talk.
I think what he said was, since I can't talk, we'll let Teller do it. And then,
and it got a huge laugh out of the audience, because even then people respect that world.
That's apparently like a bit that's a gambit they've never played before. Is the whole like, well, let me toss it to the guy who normally doesn't talk.
Because I think like they understand it's a fucked out joke. Like it's what everybody it's the first thing that anybody will want to say is like, well, I bet you're not going to say anything because I know that you, from watching the show, don't talk. And he did it, and it got a gigantic laugh, and it was awesome. But I don't know. I'll tell you what. All I will say is that Brian, you should look back at what they are doing here in nothing other than that is a brilliant mothership that you can look back at, no matter how brilliant and chrome it is, because you are so far beyond setting up your own colony that you can honor it as your ancestors, because like that is who they are. That you owe so much to them. You owe personal gifts that Teller has given you, but like you're not in their world. In fact, like they're advertising in your world so people can visit them in their world.
There was a number of people who posted comments in the recent Scam Nation video that said, holy cow, I got a Penn Teller masterclass video ad before this. And on they went.
Who's getting paid off of that?
Eventually us.
At some point in time.
I mean, to be honest, oh shit, they don't have affiliate codes, do they?
Masterclass? Maybe.
Because that would not be a bad idea to be the like
get a pre-roll of Teller plugging
why
their
they decided to do a
masterclass
masterclass interview with Brian Brushwood. That then masterclass.com/scamnation.
It doesn't look like Masterclass itself has one.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising because they seem to be in the same clubhouse as the Great Courses, which I know advertises on a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, there's a couple things like that do that, but I just don't know if Masterclass does.
Yeah,
could be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Is there a...
It seems like there is a shady-looking thing that is possibly an actual affiliate program. But in any case, this is...
A shady-looking thing that looks
well,
like it's...
I'll just say, I'm on DuckDuckGo, so all these results don't look right to begin with.
Right.
But, I think they are partnering with another partner to get an affiliate program.
Coming next year, it's Scam Nation's Bastard Class.
Ah!
I got your cups and balls right here.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently,
Anyway.
from what I gleaned off of what they were talking about on Abracababble, there's 3 levels of students in the class. There's like a beginner, which I think is the people that are showing at the table mostly. Then there's the intermediate, which is Matt, and then there's the expert, which is Piff.
Oh, wow.
And I think they have different things that they go with in like each of the levels with them. So
Very cool. #1 Magic podcast, y'all.
also, this is probably the last documented coaching of Johnny Thompson.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's a real thing.
You guys want to take a blast to the past?
Yes, I do.
You know how people be on their Bluetooth.
Of course, yeah, man. What assholes? No, with their goddamn Bluetooths in their ear, thinking that they're so goddamn smart.
That's a 1920s term, right? Bluetooth, 1920s.
Well, it's not just a modern problem. let's go back to 1993.
Talking on the phone getting out of hand? Look out! You need phone relief. The ultimate in hands-free phone design. Watch. Simply attach the special double-back fastener to any phone.
I
Then
remember
attach the
this
phone
ad.
relief headset. It's that easy. Hands-free, pain-free. You'll wonder how you ever lived without it. It's perfect for remotes. Now talk hands-free anywhere, anytime. Office work is a pain for Mr. Phone in the Neck, but you won't miss a beat with hands-free freedom. A must for the entire office. Work goes quicker and easier. The padded headset removes this easily and is fully adjustable. Best of all, Phone Relief works with your favorite phone. An amazing breakthrough product you'll use every day. Now only $12.95. Call
Only
toll-free to order by
$13.
credit card and make this your last Phone in the Neck call.
With
Hey,
$13 shipping.
What happens if
handling.
we call that number? Can we call that 800?
Oh,
number?
it's totally a porn line by now.
800-862-1000.
All right, yeah, let's try this out. All right, here we go. Pulling up my phone, going and finding the dialer because no one uses that anymore. Here we go. Is this on?
But you can make calls on these things?
862-1000. Boop. Let's see if this works. I don't know.
It's busy.
It's busy.
The operators
so many,
are standing
so
by.
many,
There's so many
many
people calling
articles.
right now.
Yeah, so many people calling in.
That's right.
It's everybody in chat calling to get their hands-free phones.
That business signal cost me $30. Yeah, man. The fucking phone relief.
Yeah, dude. I mean, well, to be fair, man, like you had to cradle that phone, man. That did fuck with your head and neck.
Yeah, I mean, all those times that I'm mixing cake or
Or waxing a car.
waxing my car. And like even this office comparison one, this guy's not even moving papers around. This is a whole Marie Kondo situation between these two gentlemen. I don't know, man.
I want to go back to that one dude. That one dude is just like wrestling with his papers for some reason.
I gotta separate the papers.
That's
Yeah.
I can't remember
I mean,
what.
that was definitely a thing. Like dropping the phone out from your head and neck
Yeah.
was like that. That was a embarrassing moment in your life.
Well, I think it was
you
also-
didn't want to do that.
It was
You
also the-
clattered, it made a big noise for the other person, especially if you're talking to someone that you cared about.
I mean, they also realized they're like, well, the phone's cordless now. We can't do anything else with that. So I guess we'll just figure out a way to glue it to your head.
I think it's kind of a smart way to do it. Although, I mean, who knows exactly how adhesive that adhesive was, and if it was actually just sticky to anything else, and it just got like cat hair and fucking lint and shit on it for the rest of the time that it was there.
I think it was like just a sticky Velcro. You would just do Velcro on your
Oh,
headset.
was it?
I'm gonna guess that was just hook and loop technology. It wasn't patented Velcro, sir.
This is why it was only $13. That's the other crazy thing to me is that they try to set up as like this futuristic save the world, but it's also only $13.
Well, and another $12 shipping and handling.
Well, you got to get it. You got to get it around.
Well,
I
I
know-
mean, come on.
come
It's gonna get chipped out there.
You got to get a
right?
truck. You got to buy a truck. Get a
Yeah,
gas
you
for the
gotta
truck.
learn to drive.
And, yeah.
You know, you gotta go through the humiliating test with the state.
The only thing that ad was missing, it didn't have giant "Made in the USA" logo somewhere on it, did it? Because that's like the only thing missing from that true old school.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing a Made in the USA.
That and the but wait, there's more. I
Even
think that-
today, $17.
Hey, do you think we can get that guy that used to host all those infomercials that like Ask Mike? Was that his name? He had the crazy Cosby-esque sweater, and he was constantly amazed by
Yeah, the guy that was always wowed by everything that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this? Ask Mike?
I can't. It was not. It was the guy that wasn't Ron
Infomercial.
Popeil.
No, yeah, correct.
It was the other guy. The guy that always wore the like
thought it was
weird like grandpa
Yeah,
sweaters.
there you go.
Mike Levy?
Maybe.
Amazing Discoveries and Ask
Yeah,
Mike with Mike
there
Levy.
it is. There it is.
It's,
Do you think we can get this guy out here? Take
give me a
take
sec,
a
give
look
me a
at
sec.
whatever we got here.
Oh, apparently he died of cancer.
I'm gonna guess.
Oh, really?
From a computer expert about a new way of learning how to use the computer just by watching videotapes.
I remember he showed up. He showed up on Sliders, like in an alternate universe. He's sitting there talking about like how to keep from getting the plague with this I don't know, mask system.
I put it on videotape, so learning the computer is as easy as watching TV.
Now, I gotta tell you something, Kim. I had my doubts about this approach. It sounded too
Looks
easy.
like the Tech
we had a
TV set.
chance to meet some people who learned from
does
Kim.
look like that.
I learned Windows 3.1 from these VHSs.
Really?
Yes.
I own a real estate office.
Oh
I'm
my
one of
goodness.
these people who.
Why are they showing your face 3
whole
times?
tableau.
Because it's a computer, Brian.
Computer
You
graphics.
have no idea what's
That's
happening.
amazing.
Then I took Kim's course, and she really takes the fear
Not
out
to
of
mention
it.
whatever the
She
square
makes
overlay
things
of her
easier
face is
every
also
day
happening
nowadays.
here.
It's a computer, Bryce. I'm sorry. You weren't there.
Do they have a tape on how to make the ads for the computer
Now in
tapes?
our business, we use First Choice, we use Quicken, we use WordPerfect. We even get a CD disc that comes in on a monthly basis that
CD
gives us
disc.
access to every piece of
Pay for it with
property
your
in the
ATM
county.
machine.
I must say that the use
After
of
you
the
give them your
computer
PIN number.
has helped to make us #1 in our business. The way Kim teaches you to use
Oh,
the
the
computer
angles,
is
the
just
dutching on the angles.
What is she, a villain? Is that why you're doing that? To make us uncomfortable?
Coding.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually we got some, I don't know where, but we came with a Windows 3.1 video, and I learned how to use Windows 3.1 and change the colors and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Looks like the second part of that has the world's fastest talking man on it, the Micro Machines,
Micro Machines guy?
Yeah.
Wow, they had some star power in that
Yeah.
in that
Oh,
ad.
no,
Holy
he
shit.
showed up in a bunch of those.
They had Ask Mike
Is that guy
and
still alive? How fast does he talk now?
I don't know if Micro Machines guy is.
We have every book written on computers. First, you need to learn DOS structure, then write into memory allocations, file transfers, disk formatting, EMS assigning, upper block memory setups, and CMOS programming. Everything you wanted to know about formatting, defragmentation, and even hidden compiled executable files. This one even comes with a handy fold-out multi-layer flow chart. I really should be charging extra for this. Now, slide right into Windows, icons, font drivers, printer drivers, memory management, and your program manager, your startup directory, your auto-exec that file. It's all covered right here. Be sure to save your receipt, and have a nice day.
How frustrating. You don't need all that. Introducing the Computer Tutor, the fast,
Can we book this guy and just insist that he talks slower constantly? Whoa. Can you just bring it? We just want to know what it's like to be you.
Enunciate. We
He's a
can't hear you.
He's apparently still
God
alive.
damn it, Tamala's back.
Tamala's back.
Oh my god!
What I like is that computer.
Tamala Daniels.
Computer with a K.
Computer with a K in the same way that Fruit Loops, fruit in Fruit Loops is spelled FROOT.
Yep.
Hidden
It
in
doesn't
plain
look like
sight.
the Micro Machine he's done much since Transformers Animated in 2009, so you can probably get him relatively cheap. Ooh, selected filmography.
All I want to do is just time him once a year. See where he's still at. Is he pushing the limit? Is he slowing down?
I mean, I want to do the reverse. I want to say, listen, we're going to record all of this. Just know that the final episode, when it goes out, will be sped up 2x. So all of us are going to talk very slow. Hello, John Machida Jr. It's Night Attack, the show that brings you the best of the worst of the internet since 1776. Joining me is my BFF in no way K. It's JRY. Justin, how are you doing?
Brian, I'm having a great time talking into my microphone.
Fuck
Connecting to my computer, looking at my monitor, typing into my keyboard and my mouse.
I got a new PR at the gym today. I bench pressed a lot of pounds.
Guy is
Is yoked.
Oh shit.
Whoa, John Machida Jr., can you slow it down a bit?
Sorry, guys, I can't do that. I can't really talk really slow right now. Right? Sorry.
Oh no. Not a good fit.
His nicknames listed in his Wikipedia was Motormouth.
Yeah. And the fast talking guy.
The fast talking guy.
That's what he has on a tramp stamp.
That's a pretty good 1-2 punch in a ad though. You got the Ask Mike and the Motormouth guy. That's a good combo.
I mean, that's basically Avengers.
That is like half. Yeah, you need Rom.
You can add Ron Popeil and also what's his name?
Evander Holyfield. No,
Evander Holyfield. I like the Evander. Just Evander Holyfield,
Holy-
just constantly reminding everyone, like, I'm not George Foreman.
Sorry, I am not George Foreman. And then the guy, the guy that starts off evil then ends up joining them to help them out is the dude in the question mark suit.
Dude, no, that guy's great. Have you ever seen? He does this way, like after becoming famous for publishing the book of how to get free money from the government.
The government owes you money.
So he later did a video for Reason TV, libertarian podcast, where he just shits all over the fact that the government's giving away free money, and he says, "Fuck all this! I'm going to Canada." It's pretty amazing.
As like a bit or like for realsies?
It feels a little bit realsies. It's only like a 2-minute video if we want to watch it. But Andrew Lesko, Reason TV, if you want to see if you can find it.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely the guy that starts off evil and then becomes the guy that saves the day at the end.
Yeah, I think it was dollar signs. It wasn't question marks.
I think he had
No,
both.
it was question marks.
Exclamation points, I think, was on
marks?
one. I think he had a couple of them.
No, it was always one thing. Exclamation points was when Andy Dick did an impression of him, because Andy Dick looks exactly like him, but it was always question marks, I believe.
Is this
This is it.
He was the Riddler.
I'm Matthew Lesko, and the government's giving away more money than ever before! $85 billion to help bank executives take a vacation! $25 billion to make cars that people don't want to buy! $600 billion to subsidize subprime lending practices that got us in this mess in the first place! Who cares about hyperinflation, crippling debt, or a massive tax burden on your grandkids? It's all free! I'm heading to Canada!
So he wasn't pro bailout. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm guessing. I mean, that was what
2009.
2009, yeah. That was right around the.
That's
Almost
literally
10 years. Almost 10 years
That's
ago.
literally the whole thing of the bailout is he's talking about giving
Yeah.
the banks the money for all this stuff, and for cars that don't drive, or cars that nobody wants to drive.
Banks should already have that money, if you ask me.
I mean, right. Am I right?
I mean, right? Am I right?
Am I right?
Is that what just happened?
Yeah. You know, these
True
banks,
story. He quit the next day.
Aren't they supposed to be money factories?
They're supposed to have the money.
Right?
Excuse me, I go to you for the money.
They give me
I
the
don't have
money.
no money.
Show me the money. That's what I say.
Yeah. Rod Tidwell.
Just
That's right.
Walk into a bank and politely ask them to show you the money.
Please, one, show me the money. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't think we've talked. Maybe Justin probably has on the jury show. Have we talked on any stream yet about the cup? The coffee cup? The Starbucks coffee cup?
Oh,
Oh,
no,
look
we
up.
haven't.
The infamous cup?
Yeah.
That's already gone.
We
By the way, how pissed do you think whatever Irish fucking coffee place that they actually got that shit from is that like everyone's calling it the Starbucks cup?
Oh my god.
I thought there was a Starbucks logo. I saw a Starbucks logo in one screenshot.
But that could have been. Who knows which shots were the actual
I
shots?
don't look at
which
it
shots
right
were not.
now. I had heard that it was actually another thing close to there, but everyone like the meme had already taken off that it just looked like a Starbucks cup.
I do like the Starbucks cup that has the full name written out on it, the Mother of Dragons, First of Verde, all that stuff. That was quite good.
Oh, have they already erased it?
Oh yeah, they already erased it.
It's already gone.
It was like today, which I thought they would have waited at least a little while and let people go, and I think that would get people to watch the episode. I feel
think-
like they would want.
I think
to
they
keep
should
it
go
just for a
back.
little
Also,
random
nutty
previous
idea.
episodes
Just
and stick 'em
fucking leave it. Just say, yeah, it's a weird looking cup in the canon.
Well.
Who fucking cares?
I mean, it's a big thing.
I'm
I mean,
sorry,
and
but
they're all professionals, and somebody fucked up, so they want to make
Oh,
sure
that doesn't look like Starbucks.
I can't have
Looks like
real world
penis
coffee in my.
I mean,
Dragon
people
Shell.
have to know what Northern Irish place that they got catering from at this point.
Well, no, Starbucks did respond. Well, they tweeted.
I'm sure they were like, Valor Morgulus.
Some real nerd shit. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was very funny. I thought they would have left it up like a week. I thought they would have let next week's episode get released before they edited
that
it out.
is as fast as HBO operates. Like what you just saw live on the internet was as fast as HBO operates to get something changed on their platform. Like that, I'm sure they waited the point in which their servers were like literally lighting on fire because people were watching some shit too much. They did not want to draw more attention to it by having it's like, I can't stream the new Game of Thrones and like streaming outage tied to silly coffee cup. So they waited as long as like it took for it to die down just enough that they could replace everything without it being a problem, and that would be that.
Yeah, they keep saying Starbucks, but I don't know if it was or wasn't.
And they clearly must do, like, I know Netflix has said that they re-encode all of their content constantly just because in advancements in codec technology make bit rates do not need to be so high.
Just for hygiene purposes.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, like, with HBO, because HBO burns in ads into their shows. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they have to be constantly re-encoding because they
change and then they get rid of them.
Yeah.
So, I wonder. Netflix has said that, the new Netflix production tag that they have, the new babong thing,
Yeah.
they're going to go and change that on all the old Netflix originals to be the new one.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
That'd probably be fine. I liked the letters emerge from a white field. They turn red.
Dude, no. Listening to the verbal description of that was always the jam. That was the best.
Oh, I can tell you about the movie I saw today. I watched a movie. So, the biggest movie in the world came to Netflix last week, and nobody knew about it, and Netflix didn't tell anybody. The guy who wrote The Three-Body Problem has another movie that came out in China, The Wandering Earth, and it's like the second biggest Chinese film of all time. Netflix got the global rights outside of China, I think, and put it on their service last week and told nobody. Like,
Wow.
It was news today that someone found it and found that it had just been there waiting.
So it's not being promoted at all.
Not yet.
That's
but
crazy.
It's a fucking cool movie. It's a spectacle. It's a huge like sci-fi disaster film in a like far ruined Earth. I don't even want to talk too much about what
I mean,
what
it's
happened.
like-
But
that-
it's
that is-
incredible.
Go in blind if we can.
If you can, and I would say if you have the time to read subtitles.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right
Sure.
back.
Read the
From what
subtitles.
I've been able to gather about the difference between like Asian markets and like what they like is like China likes it big and fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like that is their shit. They like blockbuster ass, like big noisy fucking like movies.
And this one, it is a huge spectacle. I don't even think it's a dumb action movie. I mean, it's sci-fi. It's certainly a softer sci-fi than I think Three Body Problem is supposed to be. But it's a big fucking
Well,
epic
let me
movie.
when I say big and dumb, I don't necessarily mean like that it's stupid or it's gonna be dumb to watch. I just mean like Avatar. Like the number one thing would be like everyone gets it, nobody's left out.
Sure.
Like, and everybody understands. Everybody has the same experience.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That you are watching. You know who the good guys are. You know who the bad guys are. That maybe a cool thing happens on the way, but like it's Star Wars. Like Star
Sure.
Wars is your number one thing.
Yeah. Then yeah, I would say that this is that. It's it made me cry like really hard. Like the last time I cried like that was with Coco, and because Coco, just the ending of Coco just fucking breaks me up. But this big dumb action movie also did it, and it's a cool fucking thing, man. And
What is it called again?
The Wandering Earth.
The Wandering Earth.
The Wandering Earth.
You wanna know what made me cry today?
What?
The Adam Sandler song about Chris Farley.
Oh, I didn't watch that. That was like the cold open, or that was one of the bits of Saturday Night Live this week?
Yeah, he hosted Saturday Night Live, and he just did a song, and it was like...
It was real dusty.
I kept waiting for it to be
funny.
And it's like just him kind of being really sad about his friend.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And they show all this like old footage that's like playing behind him, and a lot of it is like late life Farley, like literally what I would guess to be within months of him dying, including like some of Farley like showing up to like Sandler concerts back then, which like that was late. And then, you know, the line that just got me was like, you know, I wish we were on a plane flying to shoot Grown Ups 3. And you just realize that like, because like famously we know and we make fun of the idea that like, oh, Adam Sandler makes Grown Ups just because he wants to go on vacation with his friends.
Yeah.
And so that's why they all happen in exotic locations, or the second one happened in Hawaii because he's like, fuck it. I just want to go on vacation with my friends and we can all get paid for it if I make it a movie. And it's like, it was just such a weird, like, oh, I've made fun of him for so long. And now like, I just know his pain. And I just feel terrible that like, oh, I don't know. I would love to be making fun of Chris Farley for selling out for doing fucking Grown Ups 3 right now.
Yeah, I saw it had been posted on Reddit, but I didn't.
Yeah,
watch
that
it,
was a real.
Nice.
It was a real. The Adam Sandler tribute to Chris Farley from SNL this weekend.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I only caught like one of the sketches, the Sandler family reunion. Which
was all his, but no, this was just instead of one of the musical spots, it was just Sandler with a guitar singing a song to his dead friend.
Oh, Jesus
with
Christ.
clips, including like photos from like the last time they were all together.
Wow.
Going on in the background.
Holy Christ.
Supposedly his, because I think that's from his latest special. Supposedly that special is supposed to be good. The 100% Fresh.
I saw one song from it that I thought was really funny. The Bar Mitzvah Boy song that was like really good. I don't know. This weird like there's this like Adam Sandler renaissance now where it's like he's made so much fucking money with movies that he's just like, oh no, like I'll just
do whatever I want.
Like now the only thing I care about is
respect,
reemerging as a comedic force.
It's I made all the money. Now let me purchase respect in the form of showing up on all the things.
It's just like I'm just gonna flex on him and fucking do it, which is funny because it's the thing that we've always wanted out of somebody like Eddie Murphy. Like there is like long been this latent desire that like we want. If Eddie Murphy is not going to be an Oscar-winning actor, we want him to be the funniest man on the planet the way he was, you know, in his 20s. And yet he seems like kind of very reticent to do it because he's got his money. So it's like,
well, but I mean,
why would I dare tempt fate and have the hell that was brought upon me as the funniest man on the planet again?
Well, and on top of that, so much of his material hasn't aged super well. You know, like
which one? Farley or
Eddie Murphy? Eddie Murphy.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to see what the guy who did Raw and Delirious says about modern culture.
Okay.
I want desperately to know what that guy thinks about now.
It's also the guy back in '82 who did a whole like there was a heckler shouting out something about gay people, and he goes on a whole F slur rant on.
I mean,
on
yeah, I want to know how he aged. Like, I want to know how that guy aged. There's a lot of guys who said a lot of F slurs that like have aged into a different person that are fascinating and interesting. You know, in a lot of ways, it's what makes Dave Chappelle so fascinating now, because he was on this cutting edge at a certain point, and then he went away, and then he kind of reemerged like fucking Captain America from the ice flow, like 10 years later, and now he's like unapologetic about some stuff, and he is very contemplative about other stuff. And
I'll tell you what, man, how
iconic
was that monologue that he gave after, because he was the host of Saturday Night Live
the week after
Trump was elected. Yeah. Like that was phenomenal. Looking back on it, like what an amazing, I don't know, what an amazing moment preserved in amber that we have in that.
I mean, just that it was his return to sketch comedy. That, I mean, he hadn't done shit since the Chappelle Show like that. That his stand-up really hadn't been televised. He'd been doing stand-up for many years, but he hadn't televised any of it. None of it had been on a special. It wasn't until Netflix started handing out like gigantic, like, you know, shit your pants checks that he was like, oh sure, I'll take one of those. But yeah, no, that was insane. That was incredible. I don't know. Is there anybody else like that you would like? Any in your past, like people that you would like to see do a thing? I have a lot of dead ones, but not a lot of.
Yeah,
people
my
that
problem
are
is
alive.
everybody I would want to see is dead. They have to reanimate.
I think it would be interesting to see what Dane Cook would do in 2019, 10-ish years after being the biggest comedian in the world.
Dan Blazarian, but with less Instagram fame.
No, I mean he has the tragic story now because of his brother. Like his brother, like fucking stole most of his money.
Oh no
Jesus.
shit! I had no idea.
No, he's got this like I'll tell you what, you actually kind of nailed it, Bryce. I feel like we are 2 years away or a year away. We're imminent
From the resurrection.
The Dane Cook comeback special on Netflix.
Yeah.
That seems like he would be I want to do a special, and like Netflix and Hulu and YouTube, and they'd fight over who gets the rights for that.
Yeah, because I mean, he was legitimately for at least a couple years there, probably the biggest stand-up comedian.
No, he was the first dude to sell out stadiums.
Right.
Or at least arenas at the time. Like he would do arenas.
Yeah, wow. He was the second comedian after Andrew Dice Clay to sell out Madison Square Garden's large arena space. Wow.
Well, I'm gonna guess time's been kinder to him than the Dice Man.
Well, apparently Andrew Dice Clay is doing podcasts.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you mean Best Picture cast member Andrew Dice Clay?
I mean, comedian I saw at the Riviera a few years ago and was very rough, Andrew Dice Clay.
I mean, he was never. I mean, like his stand-up chops were that he had a great act and then the act went away.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
So there was some think piece I saw on YouTube that was characterizing Dice's act as a parody, where it's like he's not in it. Oh, as a matter of fact, it was the documentary That's Not Funny. John Rael threw it my way. And they were couching Andrew Dice Clay's act as being sort of a stepping out of, you know, like I'm doing this thing that is a parody of everything I don't approve of. But I don't know that anybody took it that way in the moment, possibly up to and including him.
I think both those things that you just said are true. Like, I do think that there is an element that was very much a character for him. A, because he wasn't Italian, he was Jewish. Like, he was doing a character of this big Guido that was like ribald and ridiculous, and then the Guidos never stopped showing up, and it touched on this nerve that made him a gigantic star. And you know, then all of a sudden Madison Square Garden is like, yeah, you can sell out.
I can still remember in middle school when one of my friends got the tape of his Madison Square Garden show, and we all watched it just like giddy because we're like, oh, he's saying all the things you shouldn't say.
I mean, like, and at the time, it's like you can look at it and say, okay, yeah, he took this act you know, to as far as it could go. But you know, at what point does Pee Wee Herman have to say, "Hey guys, I'm really Paul Rubens"? You know, where does it end as a character for him? Especially at the point where it's like making him more money and bringing him more fame than he's ever seen in his entire life. Like, at what point is he incumbent morally to say, "No, guys, this is satire. Please understand it as satire"?
Oh, you mean like Larry the Cable Guy versus Dan the failed Nebraska comedian?
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly one that
when the line between character and person gets so blurred you can barely tell who's whose anymore.
Well, yeah, and he's the dude that, like, but then again, I mean, I guess that there's a question of, like, Larry the Cable Guy is definitely a post-Dice character who it's like, okay, you can target a demo and give them exactly what they want. I'm going to cater to them. And in a way, it almost feels more honest. Because Dice, even now, seems to have distanced himself from his character. Like, he doesn't do the same Dice stuff now that he did back then. He's not doing the retro version of Hickory Dickory Dock.
He did at the Riviera.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I think he's got a podcast now. I think he's kind of trying to come back.
Well, I mean, but then again, I don't know. He had like a Showtime show where he was doing like a meta version of.
Yeah, I mean, I think just stand-up wise, he might still just do that because, especially like in Vegas, people want to see the greatest hits. Like, you don't want to go there and see Dice's new material.
Yeah.
They went there to see the Dice Man. They went there to see him do that. They went to see him smoke the cigarette over his head. And
yeah, does he puff a jewel?
Yeah, he's got
jewel.
No, it's I guess that was before medicinal, or I guess that was before recreational. Now he might have just light up a blunt on stage and.
All right, I have a fun game for you, Justin. I'm going to name a bunch of things, and you tell me what they have in common. Ninja, Game of Thrones, Tom Brady, Christopher Titus, What We Do in the Shadows, Colin Coward, Kotaku,
things that Fox has spent a lot of money on.
W. Kamal Bell,
Comedy Central, Viacom, Brian Crescenti,
Oculus Gaming, Dick Van Dyke, PUBG.
Wow. Yeah, I'm out. I have no idea.
Army Hammer, Paul Reiser, Jermaine Clement,
not Taika
Waititi.
No, there he goes, Taika.
Barack Obama, Kumail Nanjiani.
Nouns. I think it's nouns.
Rand McNally, Mark Cuban, and me.
Oh.
People of the
people
year?
who Andrew Dice Clay follows.
No, close. Dane Cook.
People Dane Cook follows on Twitter.
Shit.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
I spoiled it with me, didn't I?
Yeah.
Eli Roth.
DM him.
DM him. DM him.
Tell
him we're excited. Tell him we're excited for his tour.
DM him. DM him.
See if we can get tickets for his show in October. He's in Austin in October.
Oh shit! Yeah. All right, I'll do that.
Yeah, just DM him.
Okay.
Yo, dog.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I hear you're going to be in Austin in October.
Jordan Peele. Seth MacFarlane. The Verge.
Wait, he's following Rand McNally like the map company?
Yes.
Yeah. Stuff happens. Oh my goodness.
Rainn Wilson.
Star of the shot-for-shot, frame-for-frame remake of Blazing Saddles.
Jim Carrey. Yes. Oh.
Jim Carrey's still on Twitter? That seems like a dude who would not still be on Twitter.
Idris Elba.
Where else is he gonna fucking put his art out?
Isaiah Mustafa also follows me.
Do you have a mutual followers button you
Yeah,
can just
man.
click on?
No. Jim Carrey's got to do his art. He's got to get his art out. He does a lot of art. Very political art.
Did you see that statement that they put out were like, "Hey, we're sorry that the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer was so awful."
We're gonna
That
go
they're
back
gonna
and redraw Sonic.
redesign him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine being the toy company that's like, we got a warehouse full of these ugly ass Sonics. What are we doing with them now?
Well,
Oh, they don't give a fuck. I mean, like, these kids are gonna get some ugly ass Sonics, and that'll be that.
yeah. I mean, I think it's for the better of the film. I think. I mean,
The film's going to be garbage.
the film is going to be bad, but I think this will.
And by the
make
way,
the
they're not
film
going to
not
do
bad.
anything. They're
The be-
literally just going to tell
the
everybody.
best
"We're
I ever
redrawing
saw-
Sonic, and it's still gonna look the fucking same, but his boots are gonna be, whatever inches higher, and that'll be that.
Don't get me
That-
started on how wrong his shoes are, Justin.
The best tweet I saw about that was somebody tweeted, I can't remember who it was. They said, in the Woody Woodpecker live action movie, Woody Woodpecker looked photorealistic as shit, and that movie was still horrible.
They had one.
There's a Woody the Woodpecker live action movie.
Oh no, that was like Space Jam contemporary.
Like,
Fuck,
but
Woody Woodpecker
like
movie.
he looked like actual Woody the Woodpecker, looked like it would look like, and it was apparently hot garbage. So they were like, maybe
Because they made a fucking Woody Woodpecker movie. Like,
maybe
who gives a
Sonic looking
fuck?
like Sonic isn't the problem in the equation.
No, I mean, like, he looks awful, but also like the larger idea is that he's not just doing I don't know. I mean, again, like I don't know how gigantic the Sonic cartoon market is. Apparently that's a big thing where he's a real sassy guy doing sassy things. For me, the coolest thing about Sonic is that he lives in a crazy world and he goes really fast and he does some crazy action adventure shit on loop-de-loops.
The thing about the Sonic game is it was easier if you didn't go fast.
But it wasn't as fun.
Yeah, you want to be
You
a
gotta go
fucking
fast.
about it.
Sorry, I like to win games.
I mean, but also he did the like. How was that not a?
My controller didn't work. I couldn't figure out how to do that one.
You can't hit the goddamn button a couple
You couldn't
times.
It didn't work. My controller didn't
You
work.
couldn't push down and C.
You want to go to Babbage's and buy me a new Sega controller?
I mean, if you fucking I don't know,
Babbage's.
spoke up before you were
Babbage's.
30.
I'll meet you at KB Toys. We'll get you one there.
That's right.
For the record, it's adorable to watch all you guys get to the cusp of like being on
Oh,
the other
God,
side of
yeah.
I'm enjoying I'm enjoying this immensely.
Oh, I'm
To watch
I've
your
already admitted
gradual
if
downslide.
the game today was
into-
anything, I am so far out of the pop culture loop.
I'm
I'm
gonna
just clinging back to like sports, going, please hold on, keep me relevant, keep me relevant.
I'm going to do everything in my power to stay relevant. I have a podcast about trending topics. I can't possibly.
although, by the way, this is my favorite moment of the last Game of Thrones because I was remembering back to our conversation. Brian and Bryce and I were talking about music festivals and Bryce having the moment where he realizes that he looks at a music festival lineup and he's like, "Yeah, I know the headliners, but like." The rest of this, I just don't know anybody. And I'm like, welcome to every music festival for the rest of your life. and that's all I could think of during the Game of Thrones moment where Bran is just like, I mostly live in the past now. It's like me looking at every fucking music festival lineup.
That's every time they announce the Life is Beautiful lineup, I look at it and go, these are bands?
Yeah.
Well, that's how you end up with Guns N' Roses headlining ACL. So weird. I'll never.
I mostly live in the past now.
Fat Axel's the best.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they opened T-Mobile, Guns N' Roses. They opened the arena in Vegas.
Wow.
Oh, I thought you meant the company. It's like
Oh,
that's
they
a
did that
weird
too.
that was a good get at the time because they were on their first.
That was their first big tour.
Whatever.
It was like it was a very good. Well, I think technically there was a first night where the Killers opened because local indie band does good.
Yeah.
But then the Guns N' Roses was the first like anchored show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any insider knowledge about like what properties might be demolished to build what other things?
You mean the baseball stadium and train station and Hyperloop hole and Portal to the Sun and Closet to Narnia that are all rumored to be at the Rio?
I
don't know anything about
Do
that.
tell.
I see you follow the same Vegas people I follow.
Are they still going to make that big? Weren't they going to make a big Gundam park out in Vegas, out in the desert?
There is literally a website of all of the failed things they were going to build in Las Vegas, and it's a very impressive list.
Vegas is like the fastest. Like they have such big and quick flameouts when it comes to hustles. It's like all you need to do is get 3 rich people drunk and say, all right, we all agree that my business plan is great. And they're all like, of course, perfect. You're amazing. And then you put out a press release and then they all sober up and it's like, yeah, we're all entrenched and no one's going to think worse of us because we all are entrenched here in this tiny town where we're gigantic rich people. So why don't we just not do it?
Do you know something about this? A failed concept for a Titanic casino?
Yeah, the Titanic was a failed one. The WWE had a casino pitch that they were almost going to build. There's been many of them. Yeah, the Titanic was an interesting one. There's been everything you can name. Somebody's proposed a casino for it.
Oh my god, a second larger pyramid?
Actually, that'd have been a very fun game. Is actual casino or failed casino pitch? Because there's a bunch of them that, like Debbie Reynolds. Debbie Reynolds had a casino.
A whole casino?
That was the one that Vince McMahon bought, right?
Yeah, that was going to become that was going to become the WWE one eventually.
Wow.
Yeah. Vince McMahon bought it, and it was going. It actually, tell you what, it actually wouldn't be a bad idea today if somebody partnered with the WWE that basically like they would just run their developmental training and just have like every night.
Oh, could you imagine NXT in the Vegas arena every night? That'd be great. I mean, speaking as a guy who lives in Vegas, that'd be awesome.
I mean, like as a nightly show, sure. Like to get wrestling fans out to go do it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Even doing if you did like Live Wednesday and a couple house shows, that'd be huge.
But the rumor was that part of it was also that they just wanted to give all the old timers jobs and just have them be greeters at the casino.
Because I mean that would be what it would be. Come meet and greet the Iron Sheik this weekend at the WWE casino.
Speed Demon in the chat says Vegas is wannabe Dubai. I think it's a little bit reversed.
The other way.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Vegas doesn't have an indoor ski mountain.
Or a prohibition on alcohol.
And prostitution.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have a prohibition on prostitution, but nobody cares. I'm also going to bet you can't walk into a dispensary.
I mean, they only barely cared at the Rio bar that Brian and I were.
Oh my God! No, that was a great moment.
I'm also going to guess you can't walk into a dispensary and get weed very easily in Dubai as well.
Yeah, come at us, Dubai.
You can probably get hash. This Moon Resort and Casino.
You also get your fucking hand chopped off.
Oh yeah, all of the failed casino pitches, and a lot of these have blueprints, sketches. Companies were built.
Yeah, this Moon one is crazy to me just because it's like it's like a semicircle building surrounding a scale replica of the moon.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to go to the moon?
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, a lot of those were in the very theme parky.
Well, yeah, and in kid-friendly Vegas, they built the Excalibur and stuff like that. It was a big push towards how can we over-the-top theme everything we have. Which, when I was a tour guide at the Neon Museum, they have one of the skulls from Treasure Island that used to be on the post. They used to have skulls that faced each direction. And I always said that during the tour, I'm like, and this is the Treasure Island skull. This is like the linchpin of family-friendly Vegas, better known as when I begged my parents to start taking me to Vegas. But joke's on them because now I live here. So I won in the end. But yeah, it's just that was that crazy era where they just could not stop theming and theming and re-theming and re-theming and just trying to build the next crazy Disneyland, essentially. And then Steve Wynn opened the Bellagio and the world changed.
How is there not a like strip review show at Excalibur with like wacky medieval themed like wenches and drinking?
Because Team Dragon has killed them.
I feel like that would be a like, because I don't know if I'd ever go to the sexy lady show.
Yeah, you think like a
but I don't know, but I'd go to the like, Like
The
wacky
wild-
wenches show some titties.
The Wild Wenches, like a medieval burlesque show.
Yeah, especially if it was like heavy on the comedy and it's like a couple of taverns
Can you
and her
dig
tits
out-
out and
Can you dig up Puke and Snot and have them MC it? Go old school with it.
Sure.
Have
No,
them
yeah,
MC
yeah.
it?
Basically, like all the shows I liked at the Renaissance Fair, but
With
some
titties.
badass titties fly out.
Yeah, but with pasties and
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess it's Vegas. Yeah. Well, no,
It could be
they're. Oh, I
topless.
guess yeah. They just have like tiny pasties and all the
no,
fucking.
no, there are topless reviews.
yeah, but I feel like
You would get half the way there with some fucking flesh tone pasties.
right, they,
like
they got X's on the tits or whatever.
They look like pasties that look like knight helmets.
Yeah, I mean, it just basically. Well, I mean, especially during hockey season. But yeah, just in general, just make it like a big body. We're all drinking.
Well,
kind of show.
They just had a show that closed within like 3 weeks there, so they got room. They brought in some Cirque-like show that was in a tent in the parking lot that was like crazy abstract. Like their whole marketing campaign was, we can't describe it. I'm like, no, you have to be able to describe it or it won't work.
Yeah.
And it was all SRO, standing room only, no anything else. And it was all like taking place above you. And you're like, yeah,
Get
that's what
the
everybody
fuck
wants to
out.
do is walk up and down the strip all day and then go stand for 90 minutes and stare at the ceiling.
No, there was a highly recommended the Ice Cream Social episode with Johnny Katz, which I didn't realize that he dropped his the Greek half of his last name, that he's now just Johnny Katz.
I don't know if I'm allowed to listen to that episode because he blocked me on Twitter. So
Whoa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's is he work for? I mean, I guess shit. Are there still two papers in Vegas?
he works he's the RJ.
Yeah, the Review Journal. But back when I was doing iTricks, like he was like the gossip guy that also gave a fuck about the magic stuff. So it's like if I wanted to report something as like happening by way of local authority, it would usually be he was the more critical one. Like Robin Leach was the other guy who just like
Johnny
blunt
Katz
anybody.
was the guy. Johnny Katz is the guy that will actually report on things. Robin Leach is the guy that will show up and give you a blurb to put on your flyer.
Yeah, basically.
Literally every show from 1999 to 2008 was the best show on the strip. Robin Leach.
Smart move.
But Johnny Katz, a great interview on Ice Cream Social, talking about just like the market for where shows are. If you give a fuck about,
It's I mean,
the
and
economy
yeah,
of that shit.
He's he definitely knows that world very, very well.
Hey, fun fact, it's 10 past midnight.
Yeah, it's getting a little late. Maybe we should
let's
wrap
say
it
we
up.
just do that thing where we
just talk Vegas for another 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
let's
thank you
do
everybody
it,
for.
but not live stream it.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
let's stay up all night talking
after
about
after
Vegas.
show.
That'll be great.
Oh shit!
So, wait, speaking
We're
of
talking
Vegas,
for 3 hours. But
Should we get that Sparrow
guys
Wolf
next week?
Porterhouse?
Live next week.
All right.
All right. XOXO.
Goodbye,
Love
everybody.
you guys.
See you next week.